I'm Laura Rosa here with Fibro Friends, and I have with me today Barry Torman. Did I say your last name
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
And you are with the Casey Project.
That's correct. Casey's Cookies and the Casey Project.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what that is and what you do?
Sure. Casey's Cookies is a 501c3 nonprofit social enterprise that trains and employs disabled adults to bake. So we teach them how to bake wonderful premium cookies, and then we give them a job. And so Casey's Cookies started because my daughter,
Yes.
whose name happens to be Casey, was getting ready to graduate from Gibbs High School over in Pinellas County. And when she was getting ready to graduate, my wife and I met with the teachers of her special ed classroom, and we said, okay, so what happens next to Casey and others like her in this classroom? And they described that, just a handful of jobs that were out there. She said some of the kids get jobs working in landscape. A few get a job, bagging groceries at Publix. A few will be hired to fold towels at the VA, but by and large, the number of opportunities was extremely small.
Right.
And these were the lucky ones that got those opportunities.
Right. There's not a whole
She
lot
said
of
the vast majority of kids, once they graduate from this program, end up spending the rest of their lives at home with their parents and watching TV, listening to music, until the parents aren't able to take care of them anymore.
They will eventually pass on.
Exactly, and so when that happens, then they move on to either a sibling, if the sibling's willing to take them, or they'll go into social services. And when we started contemplating what that was going to be like for Casey, we realized that this was a dismal situation, and we were just very sad. Well, my wife and I are owners of a for-profit business. We're partners in a business together.
You can share that if you want.
It's called StickyJ.com. It's a company that makes and retails personalized jewelry, including medical identification jewelry. We're one of the largest producers of medical ID bracelets in the world.
And if you have a website,
we do. It's StickyJ.com.
I like that. That's really great.
So we thought to ourselves, okay, could we create a business that would employ Casey and also lots of others like Casey?
Right.
And so we started to think, what kind of business would it be? And ultimately we decided that if we could put it into a kitchen, then there was a much greater likelihood that there would be a job for persons with more disabilities, because there's almost always something for everybody in a kitchen setting.
Absolutely.
And so we created Casey's Cookies, and this was 2 years ago.
And everybody loves cookies.
And everybody does love cookies. And these, by the way, are premium cookies. We knew that there would be people who would buy our cookies just because it's such a great cause.
Yeah.
But we didn't. But we still decided that we needed to make these terrific cookies. So
You're right.
we went out to the community and asked people for recipes, and we got some amazing cookie recipes from women who had guarded them in their families for hundreds of years, I'm sure.
Wow.
And so we have 6 very unique flavors.
Okay.
One is the quadruple chocolate chip, which is made with 4 different kinds of chocolate, including Ghirardelli and Hershey's and Nestle. We have a cinnamon chip oatmeal golden raisin. You may have had an oatmeal raisin cookie before, but not one with cinnamon chips. That's what really makes the difference.
Okay.
We have a Vermont maple white chocolate, which is a very unique cookie. Most people don't think about having vanilla, a Vermont maple rather. Then we also have a sugar cookie with sprinkles, which is made with a cake batter, which is very cool. That happens to be Casey's favorite. Then we have a blueberry white chocolate, a cranberry white chocolate, and 2 sugar-frees. A sugar-free vanilla and a sugar-free chocolate. And so those are the cookie flavors. We sell our cookies online at caseyscookies.org.
Okay.
And we also put them into gift boxes and gift baskets, and we ship them all over the country. So people can order a gift box. They start at just $19.95 with all of these premium cookies in them, and the gift boxes cover almost everything from get well to thank you to happy anniversary to you name it. And
what are these? Oh, you have some.
And here are some wonderful Casey's cookies that you can try.
So let me guess.
Thank you, Kathy. That's perfect. So we ship them everywhere.
So it's a national.
It is. It's a national
organization.
When Casey's Cookies was formed, we were very blessed to get some great press coverage by the local TV station that ended up going on CNN. So CNN picked up the story, and suddenly we were getting calls from parents all over the country. And those parents were saying to us all the same thing. How soon, these are parents of special needs kids, obviously, and they all said the same thing. How soon could you bring a Casey's Cookies kitchen here? And we realized that our mission was far beyond Tampa Bay. We had thought we were just going to build something in Tampa Bay.
It took a life of its own, didn't it?
It did, and so we realized what we really needed to do was to build the model here.
Kind of like a franchise,
exactly.
Like be able to duplicate it. Okay.
Exactly, and then be able to franchise it to these parents of special needs kids elsewhere, but at no cost. So a franchise without the franchise fee.
Oh,
and using this method, we'd be able to
people could afford to take it on without being heavily weighted down by the franchise fees.
Well, the thing that makes Casey's Cookies really unique from other nonprofits is that the better we get at selling cookies, the less we will become dependent on donations.
Exactly.
Most nonprofits just are relying completely on donations. But here, because this is a social enterprise, because we sell the products that we make,
and
it's a great product. Ultimately, we can get this to the point where it's going to really be able to have a life of its own.
It sounds like it already does have one. So, where is your original store right now?
The Casey's Cookies Kitchen is located in Largo, Florida, and it's here in Florida. Things are the rules governing food production here in Florida are extremely strict. We have some of the strictest rules of anywhere in the country, and so everything has to be done in a commercial kitchen.
Right.
There has to be county permits, state permits.
Right.
We have to have mobile permits. We have one certified sanitation specialist for every 4 employees. And because of our population, we also have a one-to-one volunteer to participant ratio, so that they're being supervised all the time. We want to make sure that when they're putting in the chocolate and the vanilla and everything else, that they're putting in the right amount. And so the volunteers don't actually do the work for them. They're there to come alongside and make sure that everything is being done properly, and that all of the sanitation rules and health rules are being followed as well.
So you just have somebody to oversee that everything's on track.
Yep, exactly.
So how many years ago did you start this up?
We started 2 years ago.
Okay, so it's pretty new.
It's very new.
And how many potential stores, or do you have any up and running yet?
Well, our goal was to, we've certainly expanded, but within the same kitchen.
Gotcha.
What our thought is on this is that, these parents of special needs kids elsewhere, they're going to be the ones that ultimately propagate this.
Yes.
But, so what we're trying to do now is, before we roll it out, we really want to be able to make sure we've got this thing perfected. Because my wife and I were blessed. We had enough resources to cover the shortfall for Casey's Cookies, but we recognized that the parents of special needs kids elsewhere, they were not going to be able to do that, and so we thought, okay, we need to be able to make sure that this can stand alone on day one.
I'm sorry for looking distracted. There's someone standing in front of the camera.
Sure.
So I got what you're saying. So once you know you've got your program down pat, then it's just read the manual and every single cookie's going to come out just like your cookie.
Well, that's our hope, and of course we'll be able to, through our website, we'll be able to refer a lot of folks to where they need to go as well.
Cut this out. Excuse me. She's right in front of the camera. The camera. That's why I was trying to get you. So we're going to have to cut and splice here. I'm sorry, but we have a lot more information on this side. I had to say something. And
Oh, sure.
Nolan, you need to cut and splice that out. And we're going to pick up now where we left off.
Okay.
And he will.
Where were we?
Sure. Okay, let me go back. Rewind it. We were just finished talking about duplicating your efforts and having it down to science, and that I think we were winding that up.
I think I could. Do you want me to pick that up again? Or
Kind of pick it up again so they can roll over. Yeah, he'll know where to splice it in.
One of the things that we're only operating in one location right now,
Okay.
Over in Largo, but we recognize that it's these parents of special needs kids elsewhere that are ultimately going to do our real rollout for us across the
Right.
country. And so we're trying to get this business model, if you will, even though it's a non-profit, not a business. We're trying to get it perfected so that when we hand this off to the other parents, they won't have to be out of pocket a lot of money to get this thing started. My wife and I were blessed in that we were able to make up the shortfall for between what it costs to run a kitchen and what it costs what we bring in from the sale
Right.
of cookies. But these other parents may not be so so fortunate, and so we want to be sure that when we hand it off, it's going to be really ready to roll.
That makes perfect good business sense in that regard.
Yep.
And I think it's a very unique way, the most unique that I've heard about as far as supporting the disability community as a whole. I love that you're giving them jobs where they feel like they're making a difference. They're not just folding towels.
Yes, exactly. Well, we wanted, there are workshops out there, and nothing against workshops, but what many people don't know is that workshops don't pay very much money. They're not required to. They can pay 10 cents an hour. They can pay 25 cents an
They
hour.
don't have 'em. Okay.
And you don't do the same thing every day. One day you might be folding cartons. The next day you might be sorting something or stuffing envelopes. We wanted something that was very different than a workshop setting. We wanted people to be able to wake up in the morning and say to themselves, I've got a job to go to.
And they're counting on me.
Exactly, and they know what they're going to do. Then they know who they're going to be working with, and
It's a real paycheck.
and they get minimum wage.
And
So
paying
that's
taxes.
yes, exactly.
That's an honor in a way to be able to say, I have a job, I'm paying my taxes, and I may appear to be disabled, as we all can agree we're not happy with that label, but they're very able to contribute.
Exactly. You're absolutely right, Laura. The beauty of this whole approach is that the quality of life for these disabled participants is elevated dramatically through this kind of program. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So-
I applaud your effort.
Well,
That is
thanks.
wonderful.
Well, thanks. So the way we actually sell the cookies is we do it a lot is done online, and we
Okay.
have the gift boxes or just dozens of cookies. We also have trays of cookies for events.
Okay.
And we also, here in the Tampa Bay area, have a number of retail locations that sell our cookies individually.
Okay.
And they're typically,
So you sell it to them
yes,
wholesale.
yes,
So, okay, gotcha.
yes, exactly.
Out of your one kitchen.
So there's several car washes, like Mariner's Car Wash over in St. Pete and
that sells your
Pronto's.
cookies.
And there's a cafe over here in Hillsborough that's located on Dale Mabry called Artistas Cafe, and they sell our cookies. And actually, they're going to be the first to introduce our newest product, which is Casey's Brownies.
Wow.
So that should be interesting to see how that goes. but we're always looking for those kinds of locations that are interested in carrying the cookies and selling them, because we really need more outlets for the cookies.
Do you have to put a lot of time into finding that kind of
We do.
thing?
We do. We don't actually have a salesperson on staff
But if
because
somebody wanted to volunteer
to go find some locations, we'd be delighted.
I bet you would.
We would be delighted.
And word of
Yes.
mouth, I mean, I can see that being, once somebody tastes a great cookie, kind of works for the Girl Scouts,
We also have a program too for people who have websites
Okay.
who want to be affiliates of Casey's
Now,
Cookies.
that's really cool.
Just by linking to the Casey's Cookies
I
website.
will link with you.
Well, good.
Okay.
And we have a small commission that we pay to people who are willing to do that, and so it's a nice thing because of course they're getting some compensation, but the main
But just-
benefit is that they're actually helping a really worthwhile cause in the process.
Reaching an audience that you wouldn't probably have access to.
Yes, exactly.
I hear you have a story or two that's worth sharing.
Well, I was telling Kathy a story earlier about a musical group called Ernie Haas and Signature Sound.
Okay.
Casey, the Casey of Casey's Cookies, her passion when she's not in the kitchen is listening to Southern gospel music.
Oh, cool.
She loves gospel music. That's
That moves her.
her day starts with gospel music and ends with gospel music.
Did you bring that into her life, or did she find that on her own?
She went to a concert. Somebody took her to a concert,
Okay.
and she realized this is what she really loved.
That was it.
And one of the very, very big groups in Southern Gospel right now is a group called Ernie Haas and Signature Sound. They're sort of the younger, spiky-haired, cool threads kind of groups out there in
right.
Southern Gospel. And Casey knew that they were going to be doing a performance not far from the kitchen. On their tour, and so Casey asked me if I would invite them to come into the kitchen and volunteer. And so I contacted their PR guy, and sure enough, they accepted. And
Isn't
so
it amazing how
so
many times you it doesn't sound like you get a yes when you really weren't expecting one.
it was really incredible. What a blessing this was. And so on the afternoon of their concert, they rolled in and spent an afternoon in the kitchen learning the cookie business and
Right.
how to mix and how to scoop and how to bake and how to
And who was
package.
teaching them?
Casey.
See?
And so
Everybody has
so
something to teach.
she had a great time, and the media was there covering it, which was really nice.
Wow.
And anyway, Ernie remembered Casey.
And Ernie is...
Ernie Haas. He's the lead singer
Okay.
of Ernie Haas and Signature Sound.
Gotcha.
And actually, one of the things that was extremely neat was that night at the concert, which Casey had tickets to, of course,
I would hope.
Ernie invited Casey to come up on stage and to sing with the group, and in front of an audience of almost 2,000 people. And
Was she prepared for that, or
no,
was that a
she had no
surprise?
idea this was coming.
Wow.
She was blown away. So
I bet you were too.
it was probably the highlight of her life. It was just the best moment of her entire life.
That's going to be a hard one to top.
Yeah, and but he did. About 2 months later,
It did. Okay.
Ernie called, and or one of his staff called and said that Ernie and his group were going to be the cover story in Singing News magazine, August issue, and that they were going to be doing all the photo shoot for the magazine article in Nashville, and could Casey come and be a part of the photo shoot?
Wow.
So we didn't tell Casey that that's where she was going because she would have been totally over the top. But we told her we were going on a trip, and so we ended up they were doing this shoot in a beautiful mansion that they had rented in downtown Nashville.
That's a pretty town.
It is, and So we bring her in, and she doesn't really know why she's going there, but we bring her into this, to this building, and suddenly, there's Ernie, and there's the boys.
Oh my gosh.
And so
and there went her heart.
she was just completely blown away, and it was very cool. And then they went into the kitchen, and we had Casey's Cookies aprons, and the boys all donned, all of their Casey's Cookies paraphernalia, their hats and their aprons, and we had cookies. And they went through all of this photo shoot where it looked like they were baking cookies in the kitchen with her.
Right.
And those photos made it into the story, and they titled the story "What's Cooking with Signature Sound."
Wow, that is so amazing.
So
what a thought you had turned into a reality. It turned into things you couldn't even imagine would be coming your way.
There are a lot of people who are, very big in performing, and many of them do things that look like they're, for the good,
Sure.
for the public good. But this guy, Ernie Haas, is really a very unique guy. I mean,
Sounds like
first of
it.
all, he's a guy who really got it. He understood what we were trying to do, and he really wanted to try to help. And he's the genuine article.
That's
he's just an
amazing
extraordinary
to hear.
guy. And whenever he wants to send a thank you box to somebody who's doing something special for his group, he orders Casey's Cookies and has them sent to them. And
He certainly is getting the word out there.
and it is, exactly, because anytime somebody sends Casey's Cookies, we not only include, and it's all gift wrapped, of course, we not only include a card, a personal gift card from that person.
Right.
We also include a card that tells the story of Casey's
Great.
Cookies. So the
That's so
recipient,
important.
the recipient of the gift, gets the gift and realizes what this is really about, and of course it heightens the level, the value of the value proposition of the whole gift goes up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And of course they might become a future customer, which is even better.
Absolutely. The next time they need to order something, they've got it right there.
You got
Go
it.
to your website and check it out. That is fantastic.
So it's all at caseyscookies.org. And that's where you can go and learn about Casey's Cookies. That's where you can order the cookies. People who want to volunteer to be a part of Casey's
Sure.
Cookies can sign up there as well.
Do you sell any in retail out your front door, or is
We
it all?
don't. The kitchen is actually located in a sort of an industrial park, so there's really
It's not a retail area.
We'd love to be able to have a retail location of our own. It's just not something that we can afford to do just yet.
Your rent would go really
Yeah.
a lot higher. No, I think what you're doing is probably the ideal way of moving them out.
I think that projects like Casey's Cookies, and we've heard of a few others that are springing up out there.
Similar ideas.
Yes, just not cookies, but
Right, but
ones that
something.
employ disabled individuals to work in a business.
And who knows where they got their idea?
Well,
you know?
I don't know, but if you think about where this could go, if this could actually spread to other parts of the country in this sort of organic fashion,
Yes,
Laura, ultimately we could change the face of disabilities.
absolutely.
We could
It's
improve the
huge.
quality of life for all of these disabled people out
That
there
are just
who would otherwise be sitting at home doing
watching
nothing.
TV, not really having much passion. They're not really living their life.
That's what it's all about for me. Despite these youthful good looks, I'm, my time horizon is limited, and if before I go, I can actually see a number of these spots spring up, then
Yes.
I will think, gosh, this was something really special.
Yes, you are an amazing man doing an amazing work there.
Well,
And I'll definitely hook you up. I'll get together and get you through our website that we've got for the fibrofriendsradioshow.com.
very neat.
And I know a lot of other people that would have no problem, I think, putting that on. 'Cause I love what you're doing, and I will do my part to support it.
Well, terrific. Thank you, Laura. And thank you for having me on today.
And thank you for the time and educating me and other people on what you're doing.
And don't forget to try the cookies.
I can't wait. Well, thanks so much, and you'll have to check in with you down the road, see how things are going.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.